This tutorial will go through how to transform data in R. So sometimes we may have data that is not normally distributed. Like you can see in the graph on the right, this histogram doesn't have the bell-shaped curve that we look for, and this indicates that our data is not normally distributed. And as we know, a lot of statistical tests, such as t-tests, have the assumption that your data is normally distributed. So we may want to do a number of transformations to see if we can help our data meet this assumption. Some transformations that we can do include log transformation, square root transformation, and cube root transformation. And depending on your data set, one of these types of transformations may produce data that is more normally distributed than the others. And so during this tutorial, we'll go through how to do each of these on R. So the first transformation we're going to do is log transformation. So here I have just created a data set, but also you can load in your own data. And then to perform a log transformation, we can simply use the log10 function. So to do this, you can just type log10 and then in brackets, the data you want to transform. Here, using log10 transforms data to base 10. And this is the most common log transformation. And this is why there's a specific function for it on R. But if you do want to transform your data to other bases, if you've read literature that has used a different base, you can do this on R using simply just the log function. So to do this, you just type log and then in brackets the number or data you want to transform, comma, and then whichever base number you want to transform the data to. So for example, 1, 2, 3, etc. So once we've log transformed our data, we can check to see whether this has made our data any more normally distributed. And one way we can do this is by creating a histogram using the hist function. So here I've created a histogram for our original distribution. So this is the data before we've transformed it. And then I've created a histogram for our log transformed data. So as you can see, the graph on the left shows the original data and the graph on the right shows the log transformed data. And the graph on the right has much more normal distribution than the graph on the left. It's still not a perfect bell-shaped curve, but it is becoming somewhat closer to a normal distribution. The next way we can transform our data is using the square root transformation. So this is done quite similarly to the log transformation, but this time we just use the square root function. So again here I've just created a fake data set, but you can also load in your own data. And then you can just do the square root transformation by typing in sqrt, which is the square root function, and then in brackets the data you want to transform. I've also created a histogram here just to show you the difference between the original and the square root transformed data. Again, the graph on the right is starting to show a bit more of a normal distribution. The final way I'm going to demonstrate how to transform the data is by using cube root transformation. So here again I've created a data frame, and then to cube root you type your data name and then you use a caret, and then in brackets you type 1/3 and close the brackets. So that's how you perform a cube root transformation. And again, once you do this, your data will start to look a bit normally distributed. So these are just examples of how to transform your data on R, but there may be other ways that you want to do it.